So that's what we're heading back to now, is the ultra-white city of Grand Rapids. Fine place, by the way, not too bad. But we would have gotten there sooner, except directions do not do well with us. We got twisted around getting off the main road and looking for a street sign that wasn't there. So,
yeah, I herped and derped a little bit there.
Tiny bit of herp and derp. Speaking of derp, if there is not a My Little Pony convention by this time next year, I will be thoroughly surprised. Because there was one My Little Pony panel, which was a video panel, like they would show all sorts of fan videos they made. And I got there yesterday night, and they had the biggest ballroom that they could get for that, and the place just filled up super fast. And by the time I got to the front of the door, it was standing room only. Just lined the walls, people down the center of the aisles, and no one cared. Everyone was fine just to get in. Everyone was fine just having a spot to be in there. And that was a fun panel, but it really puts in perspective how huge this fan base has exploded into, and it's no wonder it's been caught up by the anime community, because it feels like something that an anime would have. It has that same fandom, that whole, not your average cartoon, not your for kids kind of stuff, but it's universal enough that everyone can grasp onto it. And it's fine with that as long as the fandom doesn't push it on everyone else, because if you're into the show, you wouldn't get into it because someone pushed it on you. Well, hopefully not. You got into it because you watched it and it happened to you. You enjoyed it. So you shouldn't be doing that to other people, because that's why people hate that so much. It's not cool, people. It's uncouth of you. Uncouth. If you watched the latest episode today, then you know what I'm talking about. Episode 5. She's a nerd. The whole convention is full of nerds. Very fun nerds, but fun nerds nonetheless. Not really a bad experience, really. Most of the time, there is something bad to talk about, some malfunction or some technical difficulty or just something that went wrong. This time, I don't know if it was just the fact that I didn't have an agenda beforehand or what, but there was no real problems that went on here. Everything went smoothly, and Youmacon staff was much more organized this year. The elevators, like I was saying, there were a lot of people using them, but instead of everyone kind of crowding around one door and waiting for it to open, they had lines set up outside the elevator so that if you'd use the elevator, you got in line and you waited your turn to use it. And they were doing that consistently. They have people staffed at the elevators to do that, which is good, because you should do that, because otherwise you can't trust regular people to get into their own elevator, or else they'll just do elevator party, and someone will not be happy about that.
Yeah, and someone will go Batman Arkham City on their ass.
Yeah. Another video game that I don't watch or I don't play at all. Although I've heard it's very good.
It is quite good.
Arkham City. So that was a good thing about the Youmacon staff, that they kept themselves organized this year. I think they learned from last year, because last year there was a bit of a problem with, especially the registration line. Last year's registration line was, it started where the registration was, and it looped around the corner, and from there it went into this open area and just globbed together like this big gelatinous mass of people, not knowing where the line started or ended, and like push people out of the side, just like, I want a badge, no, I want a badge, I don't know what I'm doing. But this time they started at the registration spot, and people actually would wind along the wall for most of the spot. And we were lucky that we got there early. Like I pre-registered, so I was able to get the pre-reg line, and Prof here did not pre-register, but we got him a spot in line early enough so that it only was like an hour wait once the actual registration opened up.
It wasn't bad at all.
It wasn't. And you saw the people who got there later, and you felt very sorry for them, because they were winding all over the place. I swear, if you connected people together, it would be miles of length is what it looked like. And they're moving like this by this by this, because you can only have so many people giving out badges. It was it was much more organized this year, but last year was, wow, we were waiting in line way longer than we should have last year.
Yeah.
So, if there's any lesson we learned from this, pre-register. I know that it's like, oh, maybe I'll go, maybe I won't, but no. 5 minutes out of your day to go online before the pre-register closes and pre-register. It is worth it. It is so worth it. It is. So aside from the line waiting for some people, that was probably the only bad thing. Because once once you got your badge, you were good to go for the whole thing. There were a lot of lines for other panels too. The Little Karibo panel, the movie that they showed, which I'm sorry, Holly, I didn't get to go see it. I have no idea what it was about. Or I know what it was about is what the movie that just came out. But I assume it was very good. But I didn't get to go to the big panels. I didn't go to that one, or the Team 4-Star one, or what else was there? Prof got to go to Atop the Fourth Wall with Mikara.
Yeah, the Atop the Fourth Wall panel was great.
And that was...
Of course, he's an expert showman if there ever was one. He almost doffed me in the head with a piece of gum, though. He was throwing it around. The guy's got a hell of an arm on him, let me tell you. For a Minnesotan boy, he can throw like a motherfucker.
Nice.
I saw that coming up towards my face, like, oh no, and it's boing. Thing right off the top of the hat.
Right. So the only upside, I'm sure, is that there will be video. That I'm sure someone will post the panel footage up on the internet.
Mickey was recording at the whole time.
Oh, that's good.
Or not Mickey, Will, the other guy, the big furry dude with the cat and shit. Yeah.
Someone will have. There will always be footage of everything. Yeah. That's a good thing about conventions. I was a little worried that I didn't get as much film of like panels and stuff like that, but I spent most of my time filming the different cosplayers, just kind of walking around. It kind of gave a sense of how massive the hotel and the convention itself was. And I like that better because if you've seen one convention video, if you like vlogging what happens day to day, you kind of get the whole idea for every convention. Yeah. So I tried something a little different with this one. And I know I wasn't going to get into the big panels, but I'm fine with that. That's cool. So I spent a lot of my time in some of the viewing rooms. I got to check out 2 movies that I got to check out the Trigun movie, which is a lot of fun. It feels like a standalone episode, but it is a darn well good, really well polished, and really funny one. I didn't want to buy the movie after watching it because I don't know how much replay value it'll have, but it was definitely worth it. Well, no, maybe a little more than We're like, but it was definitely worth watching though. If you do have a copy of it, like maybe share it with friends or something like that, because it needs to be shared. It was very well put together, and I even mind the fact that the original voice actors were mostly not there. Yeah, you could tell that it wasn't the same Millie or the same Meryl or the same Wolfwood, but it didn't really matter. It was just as well put together as the series was, with a higher budget too, so it didn't have that problem that the series did where it would straggle off into kind of so-so animation where it's like, yep, that's animation for you. No, this one was really well put together, so that was a good movie to see. And the other one I got to see was the Evangelion 2.0 movie, which I actually had seen part of it before. Hitchinator's late night anime, which by the way is an awesome live stream. You should definitely check it out. What he did, he streamed the first and second movie back to back one night, and I got to see the first movie, and then we got to the second movie, and then my internet started lagging really badly. And if you've ever tried to watch a live stream with lag, you know it's no fun, because you'll see spurts of it, and then it'll go black screen, then spurts of it back again, and it's not worth watching after a while. So this was the time I actually got to watch the whole movie, and yeah, it breaks away from the series. It's better than the series. I can almost say that if they finally finish this movie series, it might make the series obsolete, because this blows the series' second half so far out of the water. It's unbelievable. Very well animated, and the characters actually do stuff, and you don't hate them as much. Maybe partially, but not nearly as much as the series does. So that was a good movie to watch. Yeah, those were both really good movies. I think I like going to the viewing rooms for movies more because it's self-contained instead of the series where they show about 5 or 6 episodes of it, and then you say, well, what's the rest of it? But the movies were fun to watch. What else? I watched some K-On! Too, which it's good fluff. It's not offensive or anything, but it's very fluffy. It's not going to challenge your day or anything like that. And I think you need fluff in your diet, honestly, because if you watch die-hard, deep philosophical shows all the time, then you're going to kind of drive yourself crazy. You need kind of like this person claims he does, uber pretentious love. No.
I was gonna say, yeah. If you watch that shit all the time, you're gonna turn into a fucking hipster like me. Yeah. It's gonna be bad.
I was a hipster before hipsters were around.
I had hipster glasses before they were cool. Thank you.
Another note, our driving on this road here has been kind of so-so, because people like this, like, look at that go, look at him go, just
watch him go. Yeah, I'm doing the speed limit, which is 70 miles an hour right now, and this guy just blew right by me, and then this guy behind me is just right in my ass, like you can believe.
I mean, this is, yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous. It is. You would think people have common sense, but no, that kind of goes out the window when you get a driver's license. Well, maybe not for everyone, but for people on here who don't have the police around all the time, I'm just waiting for some police to come out and just pull over these guys.
I can't wait. I love watching people get nailed.
just like a long trail of people who get all pulled over because like ticket, and the rest of us just get to go drive by.
Yeah.
That's kind of mean of us.
It may be mean, but it's also really, really funny.
It's Schadenfreude.
People taking pleasure in your pain.
Go watch Avenue Q if you can, or at least listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Actually, Avenue Q should be watched live. I've seen some, just some filmings of it because there is no like movie adaptation of it, but it needs to be watched live. There's no other way to get the real feel for the whole thing. But that's kind of off topic. Not really much more to say about the whole weekend, I suppose. Just that Jern was a lot of fun. Like I said, he's a bit of an older fan, like Prof is, but he makes everything a lot of fun.
Yeah,
He's got a bubbly attitude. It's so much fun to talk to him about everything. Very
nice,
chill about everything. Yeah, super nice. So I was so glad that we got to hang with him for the weekend. And yeah, Kex is like also so much fun. Like, everyone just gets really fun, I think, when you go to a convention. You either turn into this really cynical person around people because you don't like company or something like that, or you turn into this really relaxed, enjoyable person because everyone's there to have a good time. It's the only objective. It's a bit of an escapism into this world that does not exist anywhere else in the universe, like not even in internet culture. So for those 3 glorious days, you get to cut loose and have fun being your nerdy self and being proud of it. If you were already kind of proud of it. No, you should be proud of it. You shouldn't be ashamed of who you are if you're just nerdy. Unless it interferes with life.
I'm so white and nerdy.
As we all are. We're shades of white and nerdy. So we'll probably coming back next year if they decide to have another one, if Detroit is still around at this time next year. So that's
dark.
That's right. It could happen, but if we're all around this time next year. Oh wait, no, the apocalypse isn't until December 21st, 2012.
Right.
Yeah, so this will be our last hurrah next year. It'll be the final con before the world blows up. Now that's dark. But no, yeah, so good job, Youmacon. You put on an awesome convention. I really don't have any major qualms. There are silly people there, and that is sometimes a good thing. So, yeah, aside from maybe expanding the dealer's room area and getting some more vendors, give us a pretty good recommendation for people in the Detroit or the Midwest area. And I think this guy says so as well. It's like, come to Youmacon. So that will probably be it for me. I'm tired, as are we all, and I have to go back to school tomorrow. So, yay, back to the real world, right back into it. So, thank you all for existing, and have a Merry Thanksgiving, because that's the next major holiday.